A plus page. Today I would like to talk about an issue that has been happening within the black community. Some of you all may ask yourself a rhetorical question. There are many issues within the black community, and what issue you will be talking about this morning? Well, the issue that I would like to talk about this morning is the issue that some black men will host panels on TikTok. And when they host these panels, their rhetoric, their ideology is projecting a toxic masculinity, projecting chauvinism, projecting misogyny and sexism. Misogyny, hatred against black women. Now, I decided to do my research, and upon doing my research, I was able to find out certain factors that can contribute to these men that are spurring hatred and that are spurring a dislike and a disgust for black women. Upon doing my research, I found out in historic times, because when you're speaking about a topic, you need to find out the underlying root cause, and you need to look at that topic in a holistic point. You need to look at that topic in a multifaceted approach, right? So I had to find out the underlying root cause that is causing some men to come on TikTok and host these panels and project misogyny, chauvinism, and toxic masculinity. Upon doing my research, I found out underlying root cause, historic times. In 1968, the nuclear family at that time was 85%. Now, this stats or statistics are empirical evidence. Data is coming from the Census and Bureau. 1968, there was 85% of the nuclear families within the black community. Now, moving forward in today's world, 2020, there has been a drastic decrease of nuclear families within the black community. As of today, 2020, standing 70%. Now, when I see numbers are declining in nuclear families within the black community, that tells me that there is an issue. So I had to do a further in-depth research and find out what are the factors that can contribute to a breakdown or decline in nuclear families within the black community. Upon doing my research, I was able to come across slavery and systemic racism. Those came up upon doing my research. Now it makes sense, because in slavery, what happened, the black families were separated. They were separated during slavery times. Now, systemic racism in a whole is the system. And when I speak about the system of what? Disparity, intersectionality, disparity in healthcare, disparity in education, and of course, black people, which are seen as the minority, are marginalized. And when I say marginalized, they are experiencing disparity, intersectionality in the system. And when we speak about the system, we're not talking about a small system. We're talking about a whole system in actuality. Okay? So, upon doing my research, came up intergenerational. Intergenerational. Okay, so when we say intergenerational, passed on. So, in historic times, slavery, the black families were separated. So, of course, moving forward, that could have been a path, just a minute path. Whereas some black people, they don't want to stick together. They don't want to come together in solidarity, because there was always a separation amongst us as black people. Now, moving forward, the Jim Crow era. In the Jim Crow era, there were laws put in place, discriminatory laws put in place to destabilize black families. And these laws that were put in place, of course, black people were deprived and disenfranchised of the opportunity of having free education or having education on the whole. They were deprived and they experience disparity and discriminatory laws and segregation, whereas it caused a destabilize within the community, whereas they were unable to go to school, they were unable to vote. You know, a lot of opportunities were deprived to them. Moving forward, the welfare came up. The welfare was implemented in the 20th century. Now, some people argue, advertently, some people argue that the welfare being implemented also played another role. That was some people's argument. They say it played a role, whereas some black men did not feel that there was a need to initiate marriage because mothers or women were receiving financial support from the government, which would have came in the package of welfare, financial assistance. So some people argue inadvertently that the welfare also played a part of the breakdown of the nuclear family. Okay? Now, other major, when I say major, I'm not saying that slavery and systemic racism and the Jim Crow era and welfare is not major issues. But we also have to look at, all of them are major issues. Mass incarceration, mass drugs. Mass incarceration has also taken place over the years of black men being arrested and facing 25 to life in prison. If you look at the stats of how many people are being arrested and who has to serve jail time, which is under a year, and who has to serve time in prison, we're going to see black or African American or black people within the whole as a race. Okay? They serve more time when compared to other ethnicities. And of course, sometimes these men who have served time in jail, which is under a year, or prison, which is average sometimes 3 years or 4 years, they go through recidivism, whereas they reoffend and they have to go back to prison. Now, if a black man is arrested and he served time in prison, when he comes out, it is very much difficult for him to find himself a good job. A good job that will have gainful employment, whereas he can receive a good income from that job. So some of these factors are contributing to fatherless homes. Now, moving forward, we look at economics. We also have to look at mental health, the mental health aspects within the black community. Within the black community, some homes are very much toxic. Some homes are very much toxic, and what is happening, if in the black community there are an increase of mothers raising their children, therefore a mother can only instill or inculcate certain morals and values within her children, and that includes a boy. Now, it takes a man to raise a man, and that is a common sentence that we all will hear from time to time within society. It takes a man to raise a man. Now, can a woman raise a boy into a man? Yes, she can. But majority of the times, when a woman when she raised this boy into a man, sometimes they question their gender identity. And when I say question, because what is happening is this. Some of these boys became a man. And when they became a man and they enter into relationship with their significant other, they are having struggles with their identity within the relationship, because he is expecting his significant other, who is the woman, to project the same type of care or nurture that the mother used to give him. And sometimes he's having a challenge with his own identity as a man. Some of these men have not yet adhered to the modern woman. They have not yet adhered to the fact that women are now, women are now pursuing their degrees and their career. Some men have not yet adhered and understand that this is the world we live in. A lot of men want us to go back to traditional roles, being submissive, stay-at-home mothers. But in actuality, a lot of women are not going back to traditional submissive. They are not going back to those roles. They have come out of that and they want to be independent. They want to work. They want to pursue their career. And a lot of men need to adhere to that. Now, I'm not straying from my topic. I still know what my topic is all about. Fatherless homes. But all of these are little inch and bits of pieces that is making up the whole. I cannot speak about the whole different factors that contribute to fatherless homes, but I can only speak about a few that can contribute to perhaps what is causing fatherless homes. And I say perhaps. Okay. Excuse. Right. Now, moving forward. So we talk about economics. We talk about unemployment, of course. Okay. So, as of today's standing, there are a lot of women, there are a lot of women who are raising their children all by themselves without a father. Okay? Now, I am not saying that the father have to stay in the home, because sometimes the relationship don't work out. So I'm not saying that, you are obligated, you have to stay there and you can't go anywhere. You cannot leave her if you do desire and have feelings for another woman. But what I am saying to men is this morning. If the marriage or the relationships don't work out, still be a part of your children's life. And that is the most understanding statement that anyone can give. You are not obligated. Well, in a marriage, it's still that do you path. But we know in today's society, a lot of people are not subscribing to what those words mean. Till that do you path. They are not subscribing to that. We know that. So what I am saying to men is this morning. If the relationship or the marriages don't work out, still be a path of your children's life, so that the numbers of children being raised in fatherless homes will not increase. Because hear what? You, not living in the home, but you can still spend time with your child away from the home, a few days. And that can be able to contribute to the raising and the development of your child into being a good man or a good woman in society. Women need their fathers. Girls need their fathers as much as boys need their fathers. Okay? So we need men to be a part of their children's life. And I have given you all a few of the issues. Women, if the relationship don't work out, don't separate your children from their father. I understand that you may feel hurt. I understand that you may develop some type of hurt, whereas you would want to keep away his child from him as a payback. But it's going to affect the child when he or she becomes an adult. So, black people within the community, I say to you, some of you all may have a bit of an argument within your mind saying, well, Melissa, why are you speaking about the black community? You have an accent. Yes, I do have an accent, and I do acknowledge that. But I also acknowledge that I am within the diaspora. And when we speak about the diaspora, we speak about black people from all over the world that make up the diaspora. So, of course, I can speak about black issues within the United States. And I live here, so therefore I have to do research on what happened historically and what is happening in today's world. So yes, I can speak about topics that is happening. And some of you all will say, well, how does that affect you? Well, it affects me because when I go on social media and I hear some of these men spurring the hatred and the spurring their ideology and rhetoric, it causes, it stirs something inside of me, like it makes me questionable, like why? So I had to do an in-depth research. I know that there are more theories and there are more factors that can be contributing to men being not a part of their children's life, but I was only able to touch on a few. Okay? And you know, it's very sad because you know, sometimes the way some men look at themselves, the perception they have on themselves, the stigma and the stereotypes within society. They have the perception of, you know, the internalized perception of depression, and they also have the externalized perception of anger and aggression, some of them. And of course, when you look at the stats, there are a few women, you know, I can't say a lot, who are being unreasonably, disproportionately being treated poorly in relationships with some black men. They experience DV, which is known as domestic violence. And when you look at the black community in the whole, some children, they experience being sexually assaulted as a child. And sometimes if they do decide to disclose this information to the outside society, they can be ostracized by their families. So some of these children, what they do, they don't disclose such information to the outside world because they don't want to be ostracized by their families. And there are a lot of issues that stems and rises from the black community. But just keep in mind that these issues is not a now-come issue. It goes back to the underlying root cause, historic times, and what history has did 400 years to black people. So what I say today is this: black men, I understand that you may have, some of you all may have a bad encounter with a black woman, but that doesn't give you the right to come on social media and host a panel or any social media platform and decide to spew chauvinism against the black woman. Because not all black women are like bad. No, there are good black women out here. There are good black women with integrity. There are good black women who are very much educated. There are good black women who still would like to project traditional roles and submission, you know. But it's very sad to see how some of these black men come on social media, and when they open their mouth and spew, the ideology and the rhetoric, you know, is projecting very much toxic masculinity and misogyny, which is hatred against black women. And some of them think that if they date outside, if they date outside, they date up because of color. Some of them may want to integrate. But at the end of the day, the color of your skin will not change. And however you were born as a black man, you will remain a black man. No matter whatever you do to your skin. Some of you all decide to bleach, you will always remain biologically a black person. So by dating up or dating down, and this is no means to anyone who date outside their own race. I'm just using that as an example. Okay? So nevertheless, I hope that you all have a beautiful day. You all have been seeing me sharing my different videos. As of today, I can speak 14 different languages. Voy habla 14 idiomas diferentes. Yes. So as of today, you all would know that I speak Spanish. Okay, you all know I can speak French. And of course, I've been learning Japanese and Chinese, etc., etc. So as time goes by, I will be sharing my various videos. It's been a while. I've been speaking 12 different languages. I just added Cambodian and the Chinese traditional language. I really do love the Chinese traditional language. You know, ni hao. Okay, ni hao ma. How are you? You know, and the Cambodian language. You know, I love, you know, Kenyong Chumuo. Kenyong Chumuo. And that's just saying my name is Melissa. Ni hao. Ni hao, what it means Sue. What it means Sue? Melissa. Okay, and I just love it. Bulashi. I just love, you know, learning different languages. French. Est-ce que tu parles français? Oh, oui, je parle français. I just love learning different languages. I just came back actually from Panama, Acabo de Regresale. The Panama is beautiful. Edificio alto, rascacielos, muchos rascacielos in Panama Ciudad. A lot of tall buildings. Panama is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The food, la comida is muy deliciosas. Caribbean, la comida Caribbean is muy deliciosas. You know, so I love learning these different languages. While I was in Panama, you know, they understood my Spanish, you know, and as, you know, as I interact with people on a daily basis, people who speak different languages, they will tell me about, you know, how sometimes they will experience, sometimes a bit of hatred against native speakers. And even myself, I encounter that. Sometimes I will speak to a Hispano-Blanque, someone who speaks Spanish, a native Spanish speaker, and sometimes they ignore me. But I continue to speak the language with them. If I say, ¿Cómo está tu día? Or hablas español? Sometimes they ignore me. You know, during my walk with speaking these different languages, some people bring up as an argument. They will be like, oh, Melissa, you have an accent. Why you don't speak like a native Mexicano or Dominican? I was not born there. I'm soy Afro-Trinitense. I was not born there. Soy Trinidad and Tobago. So my accent will not be like like I'm from Mexico, no. Or I'm from Cuba, no. Or Haiti, no. I am soy Afro-Trinitense, Caribbean. Okay, so I'm gonna song like a Trinidadian who speaks Spanish. See? Okay. So as I speak these different languages, the most important thing is once the natives can understand me and I can have a dialogue with them, that is very much important to me. And I was able to test that theory. Of course, I'm here in California. There are a lot of people from Mexico, and I do communication with them. And of course, you know, but I test my theory in an outside different country, Panama. And of course, they understood my Spanish. And that's the most important thing. I spoke to people from France, from Paris. You know, they understand me. Je m'appelle Melissa. Je vais de Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, they understood me. And I can able to, my age, I am 42 years old. I will say, j'ai 42 ans. J'ai 42 ans. I have 2 children. J'ai 2 enfants. So, as time goes by, my French has been improving. You guys will be hearing me when I speak. You'll hear that nasal, or, you know, I love how the people from France, how they speak. They give that, you know, like a street you know. So I'm trying to bringing my French a little really good, you know. So I really do like it, you know. Est-ce que tu je peux vous aider? So, you know, the natives are understanding my French, which I'm very much happy with. Last night I spoke to someone from Japan. They were like, your Japanese is very good. You know, of course, I asked them their name, Anata Nonamawa. You know, I asked them certain questions. And, you know, and now in Japanese, I can say that I have a degree in psychology. And how do I say that? I say, Watashi wa shiu gaku no gakuai omote imasu. Okay, and I have been doing pretty well in Japanese. I love speaking Japanese. You know, I've been doing really well also with the Korean language as well. I can say my age as well. Naning Soshabiye, you know. And of course, the Vietnamese, I'm doing pretty well with the Vietnamese as well. Sang Nai Toi Dat Convien. I've been doing pretty well, you know, with these various language. Spanish, I can say I am fluido, almost fluido, because I speak good Spanish. I can read Spanish, I can write Spanish. My Spanish is good. Muy bien. Hablo muy bien en español. My French is good. I can read French, I can write French. Italiano, como está ahí? Portuguese, in all these different languages. As of today, 12 different languages. I am almost advanced in these 12 different languages. Not advanced, but almost. Spanish, Espanol, and French, I am really good in those languages too. Those are my two strong areas, the Spanish and the French. The other 10, I am really becoming advanced, and in the Chino idiomas, I'm coming in eventually in Cambodian. Okay, so you all have a beautiful day. As of today, I'm excited. As of today, standing, I hold 3 degrees. This semester has been officially over. I have successfully passed my 2 classes, which was criminal law 4. I successfully got an A in that class, and also AJUS, which is I successfully got 98% in that class. So as of this semester, I ended off with a 4.0. I'm very much happy. As of today, I will be working in graduation as an honor student, a GPA of over 3.5. My GPA probably about 3.6 as of today. I'm very much happy. I could not have done this without Jesus Christ. He has given me the strength and the willpower to go to school. Over the 2 years, it was not easy. It had times whereas I questioned being in school. It had times where I felt sad. It had times where as I was exhausted. I had to work and go to school and maintain these grades. I have 2 children, and I'm a mother, a single mother. So it wasn't easy. And firstly, I want to thank Jesus Christ for giving me the opportunity. I want to thank my children. I want to thank my immediate family, my siblings, my brother Granville Noel, my twin brother, my sister Nisha Noel, my father Granville Noel, who has been a very much inspiration to me. He's one of my role models. He's very much a very much intelligent man. His wife, his beautiful wife Felicia. Also my family in Trinidad and Tobago, my aunt Lenora, a very great inspiration to me. Clarence, my cousin, my niece Kimberly, my brother Dwayne Diaz, a very great, intelligent, educated young man. My aunt Zilla, my uncle Anthony, my other uncle Jonathan, my immediate family, and also my extended family. I want to thank everyone. All of you all have played a role in my life. My friend Velma Payne, you all have played a very much important role in my life into shaping, into me becoming the person that I am today. So as of today, I hold 3 degrees, psychology, sociology, and criminology. And I thank God for that. My path now is to continue my educational journey in university to attain a bachelor degree. Okay, so upon attaining my bachelor degree, the trajectory of my education can change after attaining my bachelor. I'm not sure as yet. Right now, still in, undeciding whether it's to go to law school. I'm not sure as yet. But as the Lord direct my path, I will follow. And I just thank you. Thank you, Jesus. I could not have done this without you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Father, Lord, I give you praise. Hallelujah. So I hope that some of you will take my advice. What was said in this video is my advice. And of course, some of them were empirical statistics and data upon doing my research. You all can take that same statistic and data and go and look up the Census and Bureau, and you guys going to see the same statistics. So you all have a beautiful day. Hasta luego. A pluta.